What's up, Sneaky Nation? Sneaky P here, back with all the news after Week 5 here in our Columbus Aviators franchise, where the Aviators picked up a huge win against their division rival, the Jacksonville Jaguars, doubling the score 48-24. Now, the game was a lot closer than the score would indicate. The Aviators had 2 pick sixes late in the game that really kind of blew the game out of the water, but overall, it was a really good performance. Our offense looked sharp. Sean Sutton continues to have a breakout season. He's a big-time playmaker. Marcus Mariota got his act together after struggling in Houston the week before, and everything started to fall into place for the Aviators. They moved to 3-2 on the season, overtaking the Jaguars for the division lead, and things are looking good. However, the next 2 games are going to be very difficult. Next up, we have the 4-1 Baltimore Ravens, and then we have a game against the Seahawks. The Ravens are 4-1, like I just said. The Seahawks are 4-0. So the next 2 games might be the toughest stretch that we're going to have throughout the season. They are combined 8-1, and for a team that struggled against some other guys, lesser opponents, the way we like to look at them, this is going to be a tough matchup. The Aviators haven't really proven themselves against a good team this season, and we're going to have 2 big tests right ahead of us. So let's go ahead and start scouting some players here, see what we can do. Again, just going to continue that strategy of scouting their first trade across the board, and it's going to help us get some steals, I hope. And, this is going to be a big draft for us. We have 6 picks in the first 3 rounds that I remember. We might even have more than that if we have another 3rd rounder. I can't remember or not, but we have the Saints 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And you know what? They're sitting at 4-1 right now, so they're doing really good. However, even having those picks, if we have a strong draft, we are going to find some steals. The big problem that we have right now is we feel pretty comfortable with our starters across the board. Who do we really replace? Everybody's kind of performing at this point in time. So we can't hate on anybody too much at this point. So let's go ahead and check out the injury report. Now, we do have Kendall Wright back, which is interesting because to no fault of his own, Kendall Wright has lost his starting position. And it's an interesting situation. He went down with an injury. He's most certainly not going to be above Dorial Green-Beckham or Curtis Harden. However, he lost his spot to Sean Sutton. Sean Sutton having a monster season. And in that slot, it's just his now. He's a young player looking really good. He has big play potential every single time he touches the ball with his speed. And it's a good problem to have. But, Kendall Wright might not be too happy. We're going to have to see how he adjusts to his new role. We're going to go ahead and throw him on the trade block. I don't know if anybody's going to propose some trades for him or not. But we'll throw him up there anyway. And we'll just have to see if we get any trade offers for him. You guys know I don't pursue trades on my own. It's really just kind of depending on if they are offered to me or not, and we make decisions based on that. But we'll throw him on the trade block, see if we have any takers for him. The trade deadline is coming up, but we'll see how that goes. We do have Kerry Patrick coming back in 2 weeks and Dre Kirkpatrick in 3. Let's go ahead and check out the Ravens. Obviously, I went the long way here. And they are going to be without Javon Locke, a very good young wide receiver for them. And he is out for the entire season with a fractured shoulder blade. That is not an easy thing to take, and that's a big loss for the Ravens. Let's go ahead and check out their depth chart. Again, they're sitting at 4-1 right now, so they're a very good team. And they are still going to have Joe Flacco leading the way for them, 85 overall. Brandon Whedon and Kirk Cousins going to be his backups at running back. Justin Forsett and Niall Davis, a great 1-2 combo there. David Johnson at fullback. At wide receiver, they got the former Patriot duo, Wes Welker and Danny Amendola, teaming up over here in Baltimore for him. And then Ben Cabrera, a rookie wide receiver from Ohio State, 75 overall. Brashad Perriman. And Jimmy Harvin, another rookie from Nebraska here. So they got 2 rookies in the mix. They got their veteran duo in Amendola and Wes Welker. At tight end, they have 3 very good tight ends. Dennis Pitta, Crockett Gilmore, and Lance Kendricks. All 3 know what they are doing. All 3 capable of making plays. And that's an interesting situation. Lance Kendricks might be looking for a new team. I don't know. Eugene Monroe at left tackle. Asamele, I don't know if I pronounced that one right, and Wisniewski, again, not sure if I pronounced that one right. Familiar from our Crusader franchise, though. Marshall Yanda and Rick Wagner, definitely probably the best offensive line we have seen throughout this entire series, and that is probably a big reason why they are 4-1 right now. Justin Forsett has a great offensive line to run behind, and they are probably great at protecting Joe Flacco as well. you know, our defense hasn't done a wonderful job getting pressure on the quarterback throughout the season, and it might not be an easy task against this Ravens team. Timmy Jernigan going to be a left end, Jeremy Mincy at right end, defensive tackle Brandon Williams and Ta'amu, left outside linebacker Kennard, middle linebacker they have CJ Mosley and Steven Tolik coming over. That's a big time pickup for them. Terrell Suggs right outside linebacker, Jimmy Smith, Sterling Moore, Marcus Williams, Brandon McGee, and Daryl Morris at quarterbacks, Kendrick Lewis at free safety, Will Hill at strong safety there, Justin Tucker, one of the best kickers in the game, Mesko at punter. Kick return, they have the 2 rookie wide receivers, Cabrera and Harvin here. So there you go with them. Definitely a good team, definitely the best team we've played yet, and it is going to be a tough task. It really is. Let's go ahead and check out the standings throughout the NFL right now. Again, the Seahawks, who we have next week, they are 4-0. I mean, we're going up against the 2 best teams right now in the NFL. Not an easy task. The 3rd best team we have their draft picks. I was hoping they'd struggle. The Dolphins looking pretty good. Vikings looking good. Chargers and Cardinals all sitting at 4-1. I mean, you know, this seems to be a very top-heavy and maybe even very bottom-heavy league right now, as you see a lot of teams with only 1 win, a few teams down there with no wins, including the Colts. That's just, I don't know what is going on with them. In terms of points forced, let's see what we got. Leading the way, the Saints, the Ravens. So we're down here at 5. And points against, our defense is somewhere in the middle of the pack. So, you know, we're not at the top or bottom at either. I guess we're kind of at the top for points forced. And that last week really helped us. Before that, that might not have been the case. But those 2 late pick sixes, man, they really helped us out quite a lot. And we're going to be on the road for that Seahawks game. That's not going to be an easy task at all. Let's go ahead and check out the awards here. And Floyd, 9 catches, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns for him. Trevathan, 12 tackles, 3 sacks. CJ Mosley, who we are about to go up against, 14 tackles, a sack, and an interception. And Sean Sutton, 7 catches, 178 yards, and 2 touchdowns for him. And it's crazy to think, you know, that's a monster week, but Floyd still outdid him with more catches and more receiving yards. But Sean Sutton, man, this guy has the chance to make some big plays. Teaming him up with Curtis Harden and Dorial Green-Beckham, you know, I feel pretty comfortable with our 3 wide receivers moving forward with this franchise. You know, all 3 of them are keepers for us. So let's go ahead and check out the stats within the division really quick, see what we got going on. And Marcus Mariota has overtaken Tom Savage with the best quarterback rating, 99.6, 1,500 yards for him, 12 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Tom Savage, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Blake Bortles, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And then Andrew Luck, man, just struggling this year. He's been struggling since we've started this franchise up, but 5 touchdowns, 7 interceptions for him. Blake, the rookie from Auburn, with 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Rushing the ball, 104 carries, 629 yards, 6 yards a carry for Bishop Sankey, only 1 touchdown. And you know that looks like a really high number, and that is a really high number. However, he's really only averaging like 3.5, 4 yards a carry throughout the entire game, and then he'll have one like 70-yard rush every game, it seems. That kind of blows that number up a little bit. Overall, we'll see if we need to continue to lower it down, but right now he's just making some big plays. Otherwise, he'd be down closer to 4.4 and stuff like that, which Monte Ball is with 3 touchdowns. Chris Ivory with 2 touchdowns, 4.6 yards a carry for him. Frank Gore with 3 touchdowns for the Colts. And Marcus Mariota with 3 touchdowns. He's really done a good job in the red zone, staying patient and finding his holes. Anton Reed, the rookie from Kent State, 3.9 yards to carry, 2 touchdowns for him. Blake Bortles had 2 rushing as well. Emmanuel Sanders and Allen Robinson leading the division in catches, 26 and 25 respectively. I think, actually, our guys were right below that. Curtis Harden and Wayne Chapman each with 22. DeAndre Hopkins with 21. Touchdowns, 5 for Sean Sutton, 3 for Curtis Harden, and then we're going to have a plethora of guys within the division at 2 receiving touchdowns. Chance Jokel being the only other aviator on that list there. Blocking, there you go. Defensively, DeQuell Jackson and Marquestin Huff leading the way with 55 tackles. And again, you know, if you look at the assists, it's going to be nothing but our guys. This is just a skewed stat with Madden. I don't know why that is. Sacks, 5.5 for Derek Morgan, 4 for Ray McDonald, 3.5 for Odrick, 3 for Arakpo, 2 for Langford, 2 for Stafford. Interceptions, a lot of guys in the division with 1. Nobody has more than 1. And again, we didn't have any before last week, where both Tyrone Stevens and Avery Williamson made pick sixes for us. That was huge. Fumbles forced, 2 for Cushing. Fumbles recovered, a lot of guys with 1. You'll see that glitch way down here, that Madden glitch. And that's Eduardo Ivory, our rookie, that had the glitch. Interesting. No blocks, no safeties. Touchdowns, 3 defensive touchdowns. Avery Williamson, Tyrone Stevens, and Devon House for the Colts there. Check out kicking. And 9 of 10 for Mason Johnson, doing a lot better this year. Ryan Suckup, 8 of 8. Mason Crosby, 5 of 6. And Cody Parker, or Parkey, 4 of 4. Huber leading the way with 32 punts. I mean, that's just an extraordinary amount. Nobody's even really close to him, within 11 of them there. And Brett Kern with the least amount of punts in the division. That's good for us. Reggie Kelly, the only kick return for a touchdown there. Punt return, none for a touchdown. But Sean Sutton leading the way with 10.3 yards per punt return. Guys, that is going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. Smash that like button if you did. It really does help me out a lot, guys. I know I say that casually every episode, but stuff like that really helps my channel grow. So I appreciate every single one of you guys that helps me out in that regard. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in week number 6 as we take on the Baltimore Ravens. Later.